See, the great Indian filmmaker, the master filmmaker Satyajit Ray, when he already established himself as a renowned filmmaker, he established his career within the international filmmaking. And almost after 25 years of his career, one fine morning, his 9 years old son comes to him and says that you make film only for adults. Why don't you make film for us, for children? So that got him thinking. And then Red made, I think in late 60s, he made Gopi Gayan Bhagavan, the musical, which happens to be the biggest commercial success of all Ray's movie. I mean, out of 27, 28 films that he made, Gopi Gayan Bhagavan, the musical, was the most commercially successful cinema for Ray. So this could be a reference point for the Jungle Book and adaptation. Kipling's Jungle Book is primarily a children's book, children's story. This primarily has been cherished in over the centuries, over the years, in the families as a bedtime story. But for this play, the Jungle Book and adaptation by Craig Higginson, this takes a contemporary look, contemporary take. And then the look of this play, the play designing, was conceived by the changing landscape of Parramatta. Now, in 2015-16, when I sort of read this text of Craig, and then decided that we would take this play to stage, and working towards the staging of this play, which we had in 2017, a successful short season at the Riverside Theatre in Parramatta. Parramatta was becoming the second CBD then, and then it was the changing landscape, changing the way Parramatta looked all these years. So we tried to kind of challenge the notion of this invading jungle, which some of you probably have seen in our production. We're keeping that production designing the same, because Parramatta is still the same. It's the concrete jungle. So we approach the theatre design from that perspective, from that angle, in our play, The Jungle Book. Yeah, cast and crew. I mean, we have 17 performers on stage. A huge casting, which we thought would be very fitting in a post-pandemic world. Now, mind you, I mean, this way, in 2020, just before COVID hit us, we were remounting this production, The Jungle Book, from 2017. We were remounting it. And then we were in the rehearsal room when we had to cancel it. And I emphasize this point again and again, that this production was postponed. This production was postponed in 2020, and we are remounting it now that COVID is behind us, the pandemic is behind us. But experience that these 2 years that pandemic taught us is going to stay with us for the rest of our lives. We have, as a theatre maker, as an art practitioner, we have a point to prove. And as an artistic person, as the creative director of Nautanki Theatre, I had a bigger responsibility to play. The actors, the crew who were with us in 2020, Nautanki Theatre wanted to go back to them. And we have gone back to them, said that, see, we're going to start exactly where we left. So that there is a synergy, there is a path. And it is a point for ourselves to prove to ourselves that we are not broken. We are starting exactly where we left from, and then we are moving ahead. Theatre will actually find its own path. It has been over the centuries. Over the centuries, this is what I tell every time. Theatre it's finding its own path, and in post-pandemic world, it will find its own path. So it requires your participation. Theatre without audience is not a theatre. I do not believe that theatre can become a fully qualified theatre as an art form without audience, because theatre meets somewhere in between. I mean, between the performers and between the audience. The magic happens there in that space. So we are back to the theatre as a performer, as a theatre company, and then you do your responsibility to come and watch the performers performing. And then we can feel the magic of theatre. We missed it for last 2 years. Now it is happening. And as I said, we have a point to prove, and you have a point to prove as well as an audience, that you have been with us and you never left us. So please come and support us. Yes, Nautanki Theatre supports inclusion and diversity. That is the USP for Nautanki Theatre. We are really big on that. I mean, we started the company on that notion of diversity and inclusion, and ever since we have been working towards it. Our aim is to make Parramatta as the creative hub of the diverse performers. We are working towards it, and inshallah, we'll reach to that target. We are working towards it. Of course, we may not agree to everything. I mean, what I mean is that we have our own way of approaching this topic of diversity and inclusion. And we have a diverse creatives, performers in this production, The Jungle Book. I mean, I would actually say that this in recent times, I haven't seen any diverse team such as this, The Jungle Book, in Sydney. So yeah, I mean, 17 performers on stage, that makes a statement in itself. That makes a statement in itself. You tell me, I mean, this in New South Wales, I do not know. I mean, I'm not much across what's happening in Melbourne or in Perth or in Adelaide or in other cities. But this for Sydney, for New South Wales, I haven't seen any theatrical production. I'm not talking about musical. I'm talking about text-based theatrical production would have 17 performers on stage, and a company is an independent organization. I'm not talking about umbrella organization or organization who has deep pockets. No, they can afford. They can do it. But for Nautanki Theatre or organizations, companies like like Nautanki Theatre, it is a statement. It is a daring. So that's a statement. Yes, 4 shows, 6th, 7th and 8th of October 2022 at Riverside Theatre. Thursday is our first show at 8 p.m. evening show. Saturday 2:30 p.m. matinee. Friday evening 8 p.m. and Saturday late matinee 5:30 p.m. These 2 shows. Friday evening show and Saturday late matinee 5:30 shows. They are actually private shows. I mean, we are doing this. Nautanki Theatre is doing it for the first time. We have collaborated. We have teamed up with Vision 2020. They do charity work, and these 2 productions are primarily aimed to raise money for Vision 2020, and Vision 2020 also partnered with Rotary Club of Australia, the Hills District Division. They are raising fund for an eye camp, the eye operation camp. So very worthy cause. But those 2 shows are exclusive for the patrons and supporters and sponsors for Vision 2020 and Nautanki Theatre is absolutely delighted to do this. And we are very fortunate that Rotary Club of Australia and Vision 2020 have partnered with us, and I hope that whatever target, whatever objective they have, Nautanki Theatre along with Riverside Theatre Parramatta would be able to facilitate that, would be able to help them achieving their objective. Other two shows, which is Thursday evening 8 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. Saturday 8th of October. These two shows are open for everyone. It's also school holidays time. Bring your young ones with you. This production is it's for everybody. Everyone will enjoy this production. So come along and watch this amazing production of The Jungle Book and adaptation by Craig Higginson, presented by Nautanki Theatre at Riverside Theatre Parramatta on the 6th of October, 8 p.m. and 8th of October, 2:30 p.m. Thank you.